Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John. This report is for September the 11th. It's quite an anniversary from way back now. We've got a strong open to futures. We needed that rebalance when the contract changeover, and it's when the volumes start to shift. It creates a little bit of an erratic maneuver. We've been pleased with where the market has been. It's been holding up along all of the key support lines and moving up above them throughout, even though we've been in a reasonably soft period throughout this. We're right back to where we've been. We just need to see that move right back into the 2480s for my expectation to get us over the 2500, which hasn't changed. I know you've been hearing nothing but crap talk about the market and how it should just be falling apart, but you're not going to get a declining market in a rising GDP. I think the result of the hurricane turned out to be less than some people thought. That's also going to be a little positive catalyst, because it means that the end of economic growth is not going to be, right in front of us, and the rebuilding and the fact that there was such a speedy turnaround in making sure that the debt limit and as well the relief was in place that turned things around from what was kind of just a little bit of a messy, I would say flat chart, but we really weren't concerned about anything. And I've been trying to say this for a while so that there wouldn't be this catalyst for fear, because it just seems to be completely irrational. And fine, you can claim overbought this, that, and the other, but at the end of the day, that always is the case when people don't see the changing multiples that are taking place. The euro maintaining this high elevation is, well, definitely central bank involved in keeping it at this point. They've always wanted to peg around the 120 range. Is too high for them. It starts to put a burden on European exports, so we'll see if they fight back on that at all. But it certainly has kept U.S. markets from suffering any further catalyst. If we were down at 106, 105, and we had the same situation, we definitely would have seen a much deeper pullback. So you call it manipulation, whatever you want. It is what it is, and we could see it, so we knew not to expect anything too dramatic. This is a little weird, though. The people flight to safety in bonds for zero yield, in some cases negative, just seems bizarre. Oil's not going to hold up for too long. We expected a little bit of a rebound. It's going to get caught in this resistance band and go back and forth. We can see a massive, strong short signal that came through there. It was looking fairly decent, but at the end of the day, you've lost refinery capacity. You're also going to have a hit on the amount of usage. Fine, you had this one little brief spike where they needed to, bring fuel to Florida and that, but until things start to pick up, it's going to have a slight drawdown in the amount of overall usage. Obviously, too, you've ended the summer driving season, and some of that is getting to be weird too, because the way they've changed the school schedules. People don't think that this has an impact, but when you have all these kids starting to go to school in the middle of summer, changes the driving pattern, so you don't have that big summer vacation thing. Usually it's a little bit earlier now, so yeah, all these little things play into. But what we've been really looking at is the amount of supply need and whether or not industry is moving, and so that's really what we've been looking for to get a clear idea. Definitely we see it, and I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing a little bit of push. Now, if you can't refine the oil and it's just going to sit there, it doesn't make sense to pump as much as you need, but that would cause shortfalls, which should definitely push price. So we will be looking for that in the near term, because that really would indicate that things are going to move. Gold is just going to be bouncing around here. There's another huge impetus at this particular point. You're probably another quarter or two away from the real idea that you might start to see some wage increases. And once you first start to see wage increase, I think we're going to see gold really shoot and take off. It's just going to probably just be your normal, ABC kind of, pullbacks, kind of pullback. Everyone's going to be dogging it, and those shorts will continue to drive it. Further on, we're well into the extreme area of overbought here. We've had a strong run going through here. It started with a little bit of weakness on this reset, though, but look at how low the short reading was down here at negative 7.5, and that's where you had the crossover. So you already got all the short-term buyers already completely oversold, even at this level. So even when you get a retrace, you'd be looking for at least the ABM Gold to come back to, just to start easing off some of this excess. And flipping to the 5K silver futures opened right up past the peak from before, and this is what we were looking for. We ended the day with a nice strong move back coming through and cleared out the peak area from a couple of days ago, right up here at the top, and that's exactly where we were expecting to head back to, and probably going to see a little backfill into this prior to the open, but I would expect that we will still be making these highs and then some going forward. And that's the general look of things. I think this will probably have a significant impact. I think we've got to return back to normal. You can see the volume number increase as we get ready to really move over into the next contract here, with this being the final week of the September contract moving into the December. And it just takes a little bit of normalization. This was the flip over, and then we started to improve, and I figured by the end of yesterday, which is Friday, we should finally be clear of it, and I think that it showed it pretty well. So all things being equal, looks like we're set for a nice start to the week. As always though, could you look for me on the Skype chat? Trade well.